Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's been 2 days since the Derby Day disaster on Sunday, and now I'm in the numb feeling mode. I've gone through the anger and I'm just really trying to understand what is going wrong at our club. Now, before I begin today's discussion, I just want to say that I'm not asking for Ruben Amorim to be fired. I keep saying that every video now, but I'm not asking for his head to be put on a platter. What I'm trying to understand is who or what is to blame for United's worst start to the season for 33 years. And I strongly believe that the answer to that question is the system that Amorim is persisting with, and one that is clearly not working with the players he has at his disposal. And in today's rant, if you like, I want to look at the players that we have who are most affected by the system that he's introduced in his 10 months in charge. The most obvious one of the lot is United's captain, Bruno Fernandes. He's been called to play in that deeper midfield position in a two-man midfield. After that, he's shown that he's not capable of fulfilling that role. And it's affecting the quality that he brings to United. We need our captain further upfield. We need Bruno to enable us to have the ammunition in which we can create chances, where he's more effective, and he's just not effective in that deeper lying role. Let's take the starting 11 for the Derby. With Matheus Cunha injured, it was a perfect opportunity for Bruno to push forward. But Amorim had different ideas. His starting 11 was to start the midfield with Ugarte and Bruno together, which, to be honest with you, raised eyebrows before the match started. It was a disaster waiting to happen. I understand that hindsight is a great thing, and it's easy for me to sit here and say what he should have done. But 99% of United fans that I spoke to before the match, when we saw the starting 11, two midfielders, we all thought, oh God, this is going to hurt. Ahmad, week in, week out, I feel sorry for the guy. He's a young player and he really doesn't know what he should be doing. Is he supposed to be a right winger? Is he supposed to be a left winger? Is he supposed to be a right wing back? A left wing back? I don't think he knows. And sometimes he looks like a little boy lost. His only position should be up front, on the right-hand side, attacking and taking on defenders. That's where he does his damage. And that's where he should be, attacking the fullbacks at any chance he has. But playing in Amorim's system, he's not realising his full potential. And surely that's where we want him to be, at his full maximum. Another player to be affected by this Amorim system is Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, great left back. Really good left back. But he's not a centre back. And he's the latest player to suffer in this ridiculous system. He's a left back trying to be a centre back, which is not his preferred position. And the ease in which Haaland got past him numerous times was shocking. And it fully showed up Luke Shaw's frailties in the position that he's playing. Okay, when Martinez is fit, he's going to come back in that position, which, okay, he's better suited than Luke Shaw. But where's Luke Shaw going to go? Is he going to be the left wing back? Only Amorim knows. And that brings me nicely on to the left wing back we're playing at the moment. Patrick Dorgu. Physically strong, technically gifted as a defender, and he does make runs down the left. But his final decision, his final ball, isn't making any benefit to the striker, Sesko, or whoever's playing up front. So he's got the abilities to get there. It's just when he gets there, he doesn't know what he's doing, because in his mind, he's a defender. And what about Benjamin Sesko? Came in with a lot of great plaudits from his time abroad, and he's been given a very tough job to do. During the Derby match, in 90 minutes, he didn't have a touch inside the City penalty area. And that just shows how the system isn't benefiting our strikers. And it makes it even worse, the fact that Rasmus Højlund, who left the club, is now with Napoli, and he scored within 14 minutes of his debut. Because he's got the freedom. His shackles have been released from him. And I think he's going to prove what a good striker he is. I'm not saying we should have kept Højlund. And I'm not saying that Sesko isn't a great striker. But I just believe the system that Amorim is using isn't a benefit to any striker. Even if we had people like Harry Kane, they would probably still struggle in the system that he's playing. And that brings me on to probably the worst player in the current setup, and that is Ugarte. What can I say that's not already been said about him? He's just not that good enough. And it's a shame, because he came to United with a lot of hope. But that hope evaporated very quickly. In midfield, he doesn't win many battles, and when he does, it usually follows by a yellow card or a free kick in a dangerous area, or he makes a misjudgment with a pass because he's not that technically gifted. So I think he's probably the one player that I would say doesn't deserve a start in any system that Amorim plays. United teams that have had success down the years, we had a good formula. We'd have a couple of strikers up front, a couple of wingers. We'd have Giggs on the left, Kanchelskis on the right, Lee Sharp, all these great wingers we had. But now we don't. We just have defenders who are pretending to be wingers, and it's just not working. Or we've got wingers who are trying to do a defensive job. And in the past, when teams played United, they were afraid of us. Our attacking force was one to be reckoned with. Now, we're like pussycats. We just roll over and let them tickle our stomachs. Now, admittedly, under Amorim's leadership, we're not going to see the likes of that again. But he must take blame. He must realise that the system that brought him so much success at Sporting Lisbon isn't the system that's going to work for him in the Premier League. It's just not viable. And next up for United is the home match on Saturday evening against Chelsea. Then we've got Brentford away and Sunderland. And at the moment, I'm wondering where we're going to get the points from. I hope that we can beat Chelsea at Old Trafford. I'm not that hopeful we can get anything from Brentford away, and that's not a great thing to say. So, all I'm asking for is that Ruben can reboot. If he wants to bring success to our great club again, he's got to make changes now. Stop playing Bruno in that deeper lying role. Give him his head. Let him be the leader. It is clear to a blind man and his dog that this two-man midfield situation of Ugarte and Bruno or whoever is just not working, and it's not going to work. So against Chelsea, I hope that Ugarte doesn't start. Maybe Casemiro with Mainu, with Bruno in a more forward role, and maybe Ahmed rest his little legs on the bench to have an impact as a substitute. Depending, of course, whether Kuna is fit, and we did miss Matheus Cunha during the Derby defeat. but let's get on the front foot. By making these little tweaks to the system, we need to show the fans that we mean business and that he can bring success back to United. Because at the moment, a lot of fans are not getting behind him as they were before. And what would really rub salt into the wounds of every United fan would be that if Garnacho appears for Chelsea and scores the winner on Saturday. God forbid. So come on, Ruben Amorim, shape up. And if you don't want to change your system, at least pick a side that can play that system. We spent over 200 million on players in the summer. And really, the only player to show anything is Bryan Mbeumo. I know Kuna's been injured. I know that. I know Sesko's only just made his Premier League start. But we need to see more from these players. But we will only see it if they're playing in their positions to their full potential. As always, I would like to thank you for listening to me today. I'm sorry it's a negative view, but that's the state we're in at the moment. There's not a lot of positives to say about our club, but it needs to change. And hopefully it will change on Saturday and we'll beat Chelsea and move on from there. Forever the optimist. Thank you for watching. Keep following, keep liking, keep subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video.